Yeah, I mean, the quickest way to like connect with a Tucson audience is to say Phoenix blows. I learned that right off the bat. Actually, when I first moved down here, the first thing I was told after my first day is like, don't talk about Phoenix. Everyone hates Phoenix. Like, whoa, Jesus. But as I'm just telling stories of where I came from and stuff like that. Like, that's a losing strategy. I'm like, okay, sorry.
No, I'm from Tucson, so I resonate with that. And that resonates with me.
I've said this before, and I don't know if I said this to you, but like, you know, the hatred towards Phoenix is really one way. Tucsonans.
Phoenicians do not hate Tucsonans.
They do not. They do not hate Tucsonans. In fact, actually, if you're in Phoenix and you live in Phoenix, then you hate other Phoenicians. So I grew up on the west side. We hated the east side.
Right.
The east siders, the east side hates the west side.
Right.
Mesa hates Gilbert, and you know, Tempe hates Surprise, whatever.
No
actually,
room for hate for Tucson and your guys' hearts.
We're too busy hating ourselves up there to care about what's going on outside that massive bubble. Right?
Right. Totally.
Yeah. And if you think about it, it really makes sense because there's about 1 million people in Tucson and there's about 6 million people in Phoenix. And each city is like 1 million people. So Glendale is like 1 million people, right?
Right.
So about the size of Tucson. And that's where I grew up in, was Glendale. So yeah. So then Glendale was hating on Scottsdale. And they talk shit about each other constantly. In fact, you know, it's like where you meet somebody from the east side, like where are you from? Like immediately the stereotypes come flooding in. And one good thing was when I would go out to Scottsdale, and I would do that frequently. And I'd tell people that are from Scottsdale that I'm from Glendale. They immediately think I'm tougher, right? They immediately like, oh, this guy knows how to fight, right? It's a lot of pussies out in Scottsdale area. But
Scottsdale?
It has been called Scottsdale. I don't necessarily call it Scottsdale. And I know that there are also tough people in all boroughs, right?
Totally.
But there also is a lot of spoiled, soft kids coming from that area as well.
Right.
Tempe was more just college town. So
college.
Uh-huh.
What's Mesa?
Mesa's meth.
Meth.
Yeah, a lot of meth. But Mesa's very similar to... Now, Mesa's east side, but it's very similar to the west side, you know. So as far as pink houses and meth, you know, and then the Surprise popped up, and that was basically
Surprise, Arizona?
Yeah, Surprise, Arizona is kids I went to high school with that live in a huge house that cost them only $150,000.
Really?
And they all look the same. Yeah. But it's out in BFE.
Right. Like, would you call it Marana? Compare it to Marana?
Yeah, I would actually.
I just think mountains alone, Tucson wins. You have like little dirt mounds in Phoenix.
Oh, now you're Camelback Mountain's a pretty big mountain.
It's a dirt mound.
It's like a clay dirt mound. It looks nice.
I mean, Mount Lemon's gorgeous. And then you got the Catalinas and
yes, Mount Lemon is gorgeous. I mean, you got snow in the middle of a desert. That's pretty impressive.
Well, and you can just escape to the snow. You know, you can escape to Mount Lemon and like avoid the heat if you need to. And
yeah, it's still 2 hours, but I mean, you
an hour. I think it's 2.
Get on top of Mount Lemon.
I think it's like an hour.
Hour and 45. It's the same amount of time it would take to go from Phoenix to Flagstaff.
No.
Yeah,
I do not agree.
Oh, agree, disagree. Yeah. You never lived in Phoenix, so you don't know.
No, Flagstaff does take 2 hours for sure.
Yes. So David says Tucson hates Phoenix for getting all that tax money for infrastructure. Be jealous. And honestly, yeah, I mean, if you look around the infrastructure in Tucson, I would be pissed off too, because Phoenix does have nice roads. You know, one thing I do like,
very nice roads.
Obviously, look, anywhere you go in this town, anywhere where it's like 5 to 7 miles, it's going to take you 30 minutes, right? That's how it is. In Phoenix, which is massively larger and spread out because of the freeway system, you can get anywhere in town outside of rush hour within 30 minutes. You can get from the west side to the east side, the north side to the south side, and then in between, based off of that freeway system, everywhere in town in around 30 minutes. I would always be able to, you know, give myself about 30 minutes to get where I need to go, no matter where I'm going.
Right.
But here, because we only have one freeway and all those stupid stoplights. I got 13 stoplights from my exit on I-10 and Grant to Campbell.
It's scenic.
Scenic? No, it's not that scenic, right? 13. I counted
Grand
them.
Oracle is interesting.
I counted them. Yeah, Grand Oracle is interesting, but I counted from Grant and I-10 to Grant and Campbell is 13 stoplights.
That's a lot of stops.
And that's like 2 miles, Maury. It's not that far from the exit. And that's just insane. And then, of course, you're not even talking about the roads and stuff. So the roads are nicer and the freeways are nicer. And there's parts in town in Phoenix that I know this is frustrating you. I'm sorry. I know that you're the mayor of Tucson.
I love Tucson.
I know. And that's fine.
Do.
I love Tucson too.
I think you still kind of love Phoenix though.
What do you mean? I mean, I don't have to love
You
Phoenix.
love both. You totally love both. I mean, that's your hometown.
I love Arizona. I lived in Flagstaff, I love Flagstaff.
Flagstaff is pretty.
Right.
Did you like living there though?
I did until the town shrunk up on me. Because it's such a small town, it feels like Groundhog's Day after a while.
Totally.
And I had a business with my buddy that we opened up. We were delivering restaurant food like DoorDash, but way before DoorDash.
Right.
And then so I would just kind of be living downtown, walking down the street. You see the same people every day.
Right.
You would avoid like bumping into them to have the same monotonous small talk and stuff. It was very maddening. And then when it was time for me to leave, it's very political up there. So I was associated with this guy who owned a nightclub called Blizzard Beach. And I was the MC of that nightclub. And I worked with him. And he was an asshole, right? And the city didn't like him. Small town politics, they hated this guy. Didn't want him in this town. And he was applying for a liquor license. And he wouldn't get the liquor license just because of his...
They didn't like him.
Yeah, because they didn't like him. So one year, even though he didn't get the liquor license, it was an all-ages club with no liquor. It was not illegal. He figured out that it wasn't illegal to give out alcohol to people 21 and up in your establishment as long as you don't sell it. So there's an event up there called Tequila Sunrise where people start drinking. It's homecoming weekend. They start drinking at 6 a.m.
Right. Yes, I've heard of that.
Right. I love it. I do it. I used to do it every year as part of my show on my birthday up in Phoenix because I love starting to drink at 6 a.m. It's a good time. Anyways, we threw this party where, if you're over 21, you can come in for free and just drink. Right. Simple as that. That's it. We weren't charging nothing. And so it was completely legal and we checked IDs and stuff, but the cops came in, they arrested him anyways.
Really?
And yeah, he had me go down and bail him out. So I grabbed cash from the night before, went down to the jail, bailed him out. Long story short, about 3 weeks later, I get a letter in my mail in the mail saying that my driver's license was suspended.
What?
Yeah. And
after you.
Yes. And I didn't have a car up there. I was not driving.
Oh, God.
So the fact that I am not even driving and my driver's license was suspended was all the signs I needed to be like, man, it's time to get out of Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And that's what happened there.
That's nitpicky.
Oh, yeah. All right.